back. It's League on Lock. That's Mark. I'm Eric. We're looking ahead to Worlds 2018 because Riot doesn't seem to want to look ahead to it. I think they forgot it was happening this year. But we're looking at the teams that we think are in the best position and will be the ones to qualify in 2018. And now we're going to Korea, the LCK, where it is the biggest toss-up. The standings are absolutely insane in a good way, unlike NA where everyone's bad. In the LCK, everyone's pretty darn good.
Yeah, see, NA, it's a lot of parity and it's really just a lot of poor performances. In the LCK, it's a lot of times of someone stunting on someone else and pulling their team to the finish line.
And these are the championship points from the spring split. Obviously, KingZone, the defending champs, with 90, Afrika 70, KT with 50. SKT actually has 30, and Gen G only with 10.
That's that huge victory for SKT into that, getting into the playoffs, into that match against Gen G, giving themselves that fourth place. Huge for them to pick up more points.
And the top four, right now, teams haven't even fully clinched playoff spots, even though teams are, there's a bunch of 11-5 teams tied. KingZone got a win this week against Hanwha, so they're tied with Griffin at 11-5. So it really is a toss-up. SKT's incredible comeback is continuing. So who do Mark and I think are heading to Worlds? We actually differed. This was the one we differed the most on, is the LCK, because there's so many options. We had a couple similar teams, but for the most part, we got very different looking ones. Top seed, I got Griffin. I think the rookies do it.
Whoa.
They run it back
Crazy.
and win the summer split. Mark just thinks KingZone wins again.
It's boring. No way. You know what? Though, to be fair, this was as close as I've ever come to having KT Rolster winning the split.
So they're losing in the finals,
It
you're
was
saying.
so close. Yes, they're making it. And it was just like, I can't trust
Couldn't do
you
it.
enough. The hype is what scares me. Because if I start to buy into that hype, I'm telling you, it's over. Game over.
Well,
that roller coaster's crashing. Final destination, 3 style.
Here's the problem. We both have them going, which means they somehow have a massive fallout at the end here, end up getting 10 points, don't qualify on points,
Bruh.
choke in the gauntlet.
Don't play with my heart like that. My boy Rush has to make it to Worlds, man.
Maybe Pawn comes in the sub if they go. But you see there, I don't have KingZone. I know that's a little insane, especially because they've got a win now. And they have 90 points, so they'll really have to choke in these playoffs, pretty much lose in the first round and not obviously have a bye right to the finals. They finished as the first seed the last couple of splits. But it's so close with all these teams sitting at 11-5. I think they don't get it done. They're going to lose to SKT on the final regular season day. And you saw their third. I had SKT. They do the gauntlet run. Whether it's Pyrian or Faker, I don't know. But you have Griffin and SKT. You got to pick one, Mark. You can't cop out. You can't cop out. You got to pick one.
I'm torn because, of course, I want my boys. SKT, I want them all to make it. I want NA's pride, Pyrian, to be the one. No, I don't. I want Faker to be playing again for SKT. But I will say, Pyrian has definitely stepped up his game. And hey, he's stunting on people, on the champions that Faker has been the one to do it on before. So you know what? I'm going to say SKT, old time sakes. They're not missing out on being at Worlds in South Korea. It's not happening again.
I want to see Griffin and SKT at Worlds. Let's go through the LPL real quick. Mark and I's picks are pretty much similar, just kind of the seeding are a little bit different, or is a little bit different. Obviously, the likes of RNG are going to be going there, but I think they kind of coast a little bit. They've been riding too high on their success early on in the split. They go on points. I think it's IG who get their stuff together in the playoffs and take home the summer split.
I think RNG knocks on the hyperbolic chamber and says, Mr. Uzi, we need you. Uzi comes back. They win the split, but I've got definitely, Rogue Warriors and Invictus being the ones there. I think it was tough for me. I wanted to say that EDG would find a way to do it.
Historically, you almost have to pick EDG.
Right, but I think that their performance so far this summer split has been of the weaker variety in the LPL. And given the strength of these top 3 teams here in the LPL, you have to side with them because they have shown that on the international stage, these guys are top-notch players, not only in the LPL and getting it done there, but they can get it done on the world stage, and that's why you have to be thinking these are going to be the guys to represent the LPL.
Yeah, Rogue Warriors had their big win against KingZone at Rift Rivals, and DoinB is hungry. This guy wants to show that the LPL is the better region than the LCK. So far in 2018, it's looked like it, and China might just be the favorites heading into Worlds 2018.
I think right now China does have to be the favorites. It's one of these things where at times it had been an LPL team upsetting an LCK team, but it was still the upset. Now we're starting to get into this territory where you might be favoring one of these LPL teams heading into these matchups, and I think that is a truly exciting time.
Yeah, I think it's at least even between these matchups, between the LCK and the LPL, which is going to make for an exciting World Championship when it is finally announced. But that's all the time today for League on Lock. Eric and Mark here. Thank you guys very much for watching. See you tomorrow.